Deshaun Watson was once one of the NFL's most electrifying quarterbacks. Teams were afraid of this man. He was must-see TV every single Sunday. And Shedeur was supposed to walk in and be the future of the Cleveland Browns, the guy they were finally building around. But here we are in 2026, and both these guys are fighting for the same thing: survival. Because if either one of them fails this season, we may never see them under center again in the NFL. And today, we're breaking down exactly why this may be the last chance for both of them. So I was watching something, man. I don't even know what it was exactly, but somebody was saying something about it being Deshaun's last chance. And then I think I heard it somewhere else where somebody was saying this may be Shedeur's last chance. And I was like, man, you know what? I can see that. I can see that, especially for Deshaun. But Shedeur is kind of a tricky case. But if it goes wrong, I can see that for him too. And here's why I say that. Now, it's obvious for Deshaun. You know what I'm saying? Like, Deshaun, ever since he came to Cleveland. Now, in my opinion, he ain't been that bad. I think 2024 he was terrible. But again, he was hurt. But besides that, he wasn't what the Browns was looking for. He wasn't really that bad though, like I said, but he wasn't elite. And they really wanted him to be, or needed him to be, elite. That's why they got rid of Baker Mayfield. Because they felt like Baker Mayfield wasn't going to be able to outduel Patrick Mahomes or Tom Brady or Lamar Jackson or, one of them quarterbacks in the playoffs. So they needed to upgrade. Plus you add on the off-field stuff. You already know. We ain't got to go there. You know what I'm saying? That's a very touchy subject. Now, I always thought that it was kind of sabotaging. Even before he was linked to the Browns, I thought, when I seen the allegations, I'm like, so all of these women come out of nowhere at one time? It didn't make sense to me. That's my personal opinion, though. It's my personal opinion. You know what I'm saying? If he guilty, then. But if he was guilty, he would have got convicted. Is all I'm saying. That's neither here nor there. Now with Shedeur, it's a little bit, like I said, it's a little bit trickier. It's just a little trickier. Now, we already know the draft. The draft, they did him wrong. They did him dirty in the draft. You know what I'm saying? I think the Browns still get backlash for the draft, even though it wasn't the Browns' fault for real that they drafted him. You know what I'm saying? Maybe if the Browns don't draft him there, he may go undrafted, which is crazy when you think about Shedeur's college career. For him to slide that far is just ridiculous in the first place. But imagine if the Browns don't pick him and he go undrafted. I'm not saying he would have, but I'm saying, let's say if that was supposed to happen and the Browns was just radical enough to get him. You know what I'm saying? Imagine how that would go over. So now with Shedeur, right? I could see it going drastically in either direction. Me personally. Let me know how y'all feel. If he is really good, I could see the media and all them just being like, all right, cool, let's support him now. Let's really go full back. Because he's good for business. You already see that. He's the most popular player maybe on earth. I don't know. Because I don't know for our soccer, soccer players be having a different kind of fame. But man, Shedeur is the most popular. He almost as popular as LeBron. And maybe some of y'all may feel like he is more popular than LeBron. But again, I'm from Cleveland. And maybe I'm biased, but LeBron is like, way up there. But Shedeur right there too, though. So I can see that. If it go in a good direction, I can see that. But then also, if he play bad, I can see them be like, look, let's go ahead. Because right now, it's kind of like they warming up to him, right? I can see them being like, all right, forget all that. Let's trash him. Let's get him up out of here. Like, for good. I can see that happening too. Like for instance, if Shedeur come out here this year and let's say he throw 20 interceptions and get like maybe 12 touchdowns, something like that. They ain't gonna show no mercy, bro. They not gonna show him no mercy, man. We all know that too. They ain't showing him no mercy. But now, if he come out and throw, let's say he throw 28 touchdowns and have 10 interceptions or something like that, they gonna be on his, yeah. You know what I'm saying? So I'm just saying, Shedeur, it's all on you. But one thing about it though, neither one of them will have a bad season though. Because again, if Deshaun have a bad season, like he probably will still play, but he gonna be a backup like for the rest of his career. If he have a bad season this year. So and same thing with Shedeur. Now again, Shedeur is a little bit different. He's a younger player, and he's so good for the NFL, man. It's like I kind of don't know. Maybe he won't. Maybe this won't happen to him. But he's so polarizing for whatever reason. So like, I could see the media just all the way turning on him, or all the way embracing him. Like I say, he just polarizing. I don't know what it is about him, but you know, he just evokes strong emotions when it comes to people for some strange reason. And we finally got a quarterback coach. I feel like, or a coach that could do well by quarterbacks. Because Stefanski, in time we realized Stefanski wasn't that. Even though the media tried, that's funny because they tried to act like he was just quarterback, just guru. They lied to us about Kevin, man. But I ain't gonna say nothing about it, man. But they tried to act like he was just great with quarterbacks, like he had just developed them and all this stuff. No, he just had Kirk Cousins and the other guy, I forget his name, Case Keenum. He had them, and it's like they was already veterans, so his job was easy. Now under Todd Monken, I think Shedeur and Deshaun look better. So that's kind of, to me, I think that's kind of the X factor, because I believe, I believe the Browns believe that Kevin Stefanski was the reason why Deshaun was so bad. Besides the injury, obviously the injury had a lot to do with 2024. But I really feel like that's what they think. You know what I'm saying? You get a guy like Todd Monken. Todd Monken was always good. In my opinion, he was always good with quarterbacks. You know what I'm saying? I don't know if he worked hand in hand, like, you know, up close and personal. I don't know how they really judge that. But I'm saying, anywhere he went, it seemed like the quarterbacks did much better than they had been doing. You see what I'm saying? So now you give a guy like that to Shedeur and Deshaun, hey, the competition is gonna be crazy, man. I ain't mentioning the other guy. I ain't mentioning him because I don't think I wouldn't be surprised if he ain't even here. You know what I'm saying? He finally arrived. He finally arrived at the building. But I'm just saying, I don't know if he's gonna be here. I can't see him beating him out anyway, so that's why I ain't even saying nothing. But by the way, I kind of feel bad. I kind of feel bad for Dylan a little bit, because now everybody just dissing him. You know what I'm saying? He ain't asked for that, and everybody dissing him now, talking about how, talking trash about him, talking about how small he is, how he can't throw down the field. It's all true, but it's like, you ain't got to do him like that. You know what I'm saying? And I be doing him like that too. My bad. You know what I'm saying? My bad. It's residual because it's from the way they did Shedeur, which is still wrong, man. Still wrong. So what would be a good season for Deshaun? If Deshaun come back and he is about 80% of what he was in 2020, 2019, or 2019, I don't think he played in 2020. If he's that, matter of fact, he did play in 2020, didn't he? Whatever the best version of him was, if he is 80%, 85% of that, he'll probably win the job. You know what I'm saying? Don't see that happening. You don't see that happening. He missed a lot of football over these last 6 years. He'd have missed like 4 years for real. If you add all the time up. So in the last 6 years, he really only played 2 years altogether. Now with Shedeur, all he got to do is just clean up some of the stuff he do. I was gonna make a video about it, but I ain't want to do it, man. About him, how he'll bail out of clean pockets. You know what I'm saying? If he can clean that up, if he can clean stuff like that up, which I feel like that's kind of like minor, you know what I'm saying? But he did it enough to where, because if you look at the stats, he had kind of like a lot of time to throw on the low, but our line was still trash, though. That's the funny thing about it. Because when they got beat bad. You know what I'm saying? But if you average everything out, he had a decent amount of time to throw. But now again, that could be deceiving because what about the receivers? Is the receivers open? We already know the answer to that, don't we? So all I'm saying is, if he can clean up little stuff in this game, mainly the escaping clean pockets and throwing interceptions, he clean that up, man. Sky's the limit. Like I said, he can make all the throws. He got the confidence. He got the leadership skills. He got the city behind. He got the whole world, or at least the United States behind him. You know what I'm saying? See you aunties, Browns fans, or at least most of us. You know what I'm saying? So he got a lot of people behind him. If he could just clean up and be more efficient, which he is an efficient quarterback, but I'm saying not make them crazy mistakes. He gonna, hey, you already know. You know what I'm saying? You already know. He might take off. Now, again, if the Browns do what the Browns defense been doing, hey man, it can get scary. By the way, I just noticed something. He said if he get practice time, after the Raiders game, if he get practice time, it can get dangerous. You remember when Baker Mayfield said that? He said something like that. He said he woke up feeling dangerous. I wonder, did he get that from Baker, man? Or was that like a, you know, or was it a coincidence? It could have been a coincidence. But yeah, man. Anyway, like, comment, subscribe. And at the end of the day got to end. And before it does, go Browns.